Hi everyone, so I'm going to attempt to voice over this as I'm doing it. So I've just put on sale my stick-on tip, so I thought I'd upload a video for prep. Now I'm usually telling my clients not to stick nails on, but needs must in these times, so I thought I'd put up a little tutorial on stick-on nails. So I have a nail bed in my hand trainer, and I'm just going to trim it down slightly. We're going to get rid of this little free edge, just like that, using the file that I put in the box. One side is an 80, one side is 100. Now, higher the number, the lower the grit, and you can feel the difference. So you want the lower side, and you just want to tidy up that free edge. You just cut, make it into a nice tidy edge. This is so it grows really nice when these nails come off. So there we have it. So the other things I've put in there is a cuticle pusher. This is a flat end for the cuticles, and you've also got a buffing area. So what we do with this, before we start on our nails, we want to make sure that our nails are perfectly clean. This is why I tell people not to stick on nails, because if you've got any anything on this nail plate, it could cause an infection or damage to your natural nail. So what we want to do first is use the flat end, and we want to scrape up the sidewall, get underneath those sidewall folds, scrape away any dead skin, and then push and scrape the cuticles at the top, like so, and down the other side. If you have got cuticles on your nail bed, you'll have now all white skin sticking up there. This is what this side is for, just to gently exfoliate that skin. You can use this on the skin, it just exfoliates that skin that's left behind. So you just go around gently, sort of massaging it off, scraping it off with this, and on the nail bed as well. And when you're doing all this, you're not putting any pressure onto the nail with the file and with this. All you're doing is gently scraping away that extra. So the Prep Spray Plus that I've put in, oh sorry, it's not Prep Spray Plus, it's Prep Spray. What is in there, sorry I'm moving around as I'm talking, is this nail polish, nail prep and polish wipe. So this is a 2-in-1. This sanitizes and prepares nails. Now this is usually used with my gel products when I'm putting gel polish on, but this is okay to use with these as well, because all we're doing is cleaning and sanitizing. So I have some in my spray bottle, because I use it in a spray bottle as I find it like, because this one has just got a hole in the top that you dab onto your lint-free wipe. I don't prefer to do that. I prefer to spray for a couple of reasons. One, you're keeping the nozzle clean because you have the lid to go on top, so you're not getting anything on the top. But I'd keep touching it with towels. And the other thing is it gets everywhere really easy when you spray it on, because if you tilt your finger up like that and then just spray on like that, and then you get your lint-free wipes that I supplied with the kit. So you take one of these, I think I put 4 in each kit, so you take one of these and you wipe that nail bed. And when you wipe, make sure you get into all those nail folds around the cuticle and the side walls. Make sure you get right in there to make sure you're cleaning absolutely everything away. This will help get rid of all those little nasties that could cause infections. The next stage to your prep is to etch the nail bed. Now I do this with everything. I do this with acrylic nails, I do it with stick-ons, I do it with gel polish. By doing this, it gives something for the product to grip to, because if there's too much shine on this surface, the glue or acrylic or gel or anything will not stick to this nail. So what you want to do is you want to use, again, the finer side would be better, and all you do is put your finger on top like that and then just push up and down, and again gently, gentle even pressure, and all you're doing is pushing. Make sure you're getting, oops, pulling out my tip, I think I should have put a bigger one in. All you're doing is, I'll hold it on the top, is etching that nail plate. So you don't want to put too much pressure on, just etch away. Make sure you get right up into the top, make sure you're getting right into the sides, and just completely etch that area away. So if you can see the effect that has on the nail, that's what you want it to look at. As you can see, I've got a little shiny area up there, so I want to go over that bit, make sure it's all matte and etched. I definitely should have put in a bigger tip. Make sure that you've got no shine on that plate whatsoever. Just take a bit off that tip, make sure it's all matte, and when you've done that, I use my dusty brush. If you haven't got one, then you can use a lint-free pad just to dust it away. If you do use a makeup brush, because I know these look like makeup brush, make sure it's a makeup brush that you haven't used, that you haven't got any makeup or anything on, because if you brushed it onto the nail, you are brushing what's on that brush onto the nail. So if you don't have a brand new clean brush, use the lint-free wipe. This will do, okay? Just wipe it off and put it on. Next thing we want to do is measure up the tips. So you want to get all the tips and you want to measure them to the right sort of size to the nail bed. Now this one, as you can see, fits quite reasonably well in that cuticle because it's quite square. Now if you've got a rounder cuticle that you want to fit, you can use this file and just gently file the edges. Don't file away too much or else they become too thick, but I have kept the cuticle area and the free edge quite thin so you can adjust them, and all you do is just gently file around. You can use the harder grit for this because you're filing acrylic. Just gently take it a little bit off, a little bit at a time, offer it back up until it fits perfectly. Again, wipe off all the dust, wipe off all the dust underneath the nail, make sure there's nothing left on that nail, because I have been using double-sided tape to build these, so there could be a little bit of stickiness left in there. If there is, just use your wipe solution and a lint-free wipe and just give it a clean. Make sure your nail bed's clean, make sure your tip's clean, and then we can then start to put it on. So I'm going to use my brush on glue. I have supplied glue in the kit. It's only a 2 gram glue. So I couldn't get the brush on kind. As you know, with deliveries, it's really difficult at the minute to get deliveries of stuff. So I got what glue I could, so I could give you something. I don't know how good it is because I haven't used it. I tend to always go for the brush-ons, and that's what I was trying to get to put in this kit, but there was either ridiculous prices or delivery would be something like the end of July. So I know you can get them at Tesco's and supermarkets and places like that. So if you want to get another glue, that's fine. The glues I put in there was next to nothing, absolutely next to nothing. I just wanted to put some in so you had some. So what you do with the glue is you put it on, and you want to avoid getting it right up into that cuticle area and the side walls. You just want to put it on gently, evenly across all the nail bed, and then just leave a little gap around that cuticle and side walls, because as you push this down it will spread. Then what you want to do is put it in at the cuticle first, bring it down and hold firmly. You want to keep fingers underneath, fingers on top, and hold firmly until that tip is attached. which might take a bit longer on my hand trainer because the warmth in your fingers helps it to set, whereas this silicone hand isn't very warm, she's actually quite cold. Yeah, it usually takes about 5 seconds, and then you have a perfect stick-on nail. So what you want to do then is, once it's properly adhered, to look after these, what you want to do is avoid like soapy water, oils and things like that that could lift them. If you're going to wash up or anything like that, I suggest you wear gloves and things like that, just to try and get them to last as long as you can. Now, if prepped properly, cleaned properly, applied properly, these should last near enough the same as an acrylic nails. The only thing is, with the glue will probably pop these off rather than you get lifting. But you can reuse these. I mean, if you follow these steps, even when you come to put them back on, as long as you prepare that nail plate spot on using the products that I've given you, there's no reason why you can't reuse these. Even if you've got glue underneath these, you could always wipe it off with a bit of acetone based nail varnish. You can clean the underneath and reuse them. I've put in the cuticle oil, so it might be worth, once this is fully set, perhaps not on the day because you might just end up popping the nails off, perhaps the next morning or something, just put a little bit of cuticle oil. I have one that I've already got open here. So with a cuticle pen, what you want to do is just the next day, just put a little bit of cuticle oil around that area, just to look after the skin, because when you file, you do dehydrate the skin, so the oil just helps you replenish that skin. The length on these aren't too bad, if you can see, with a free edge. If you want to file them into more of a coffin shape or shorten them, that's fine, but you have to take into account that I have put in an apex, the same as I would if I was building a nail on a person. So the shorter you make them or the thinner you make them, the thicker they're going to look. And if you file over the top, you lose the top coat. So I suggest, if you can keep them this length, that's great. So yeah, that is how to attach a stick-on nail. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you will invest in some of these tips, because let's face it, girls, we're not going out much at the minute, but it is nice to have nice nails, isn't it? So hope this has helped you, and I'll speak to you again soon. Bye bye.